Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh, and today we're talking about 20 years of whiskey advice condensed down into about 15 minutes or however long this video takes for us to talk about this. But we're going to talk about 5 of the major mistakes that we've learned. Erin's been into whiskey for over a decade now, and I've been into it for exactly 20 years. So we're going to talk about some of the mistakes along the way that we've learned and how you can combat them in your whiskey journey.
Let's do it.
So
what are we drinking real quick? What's in our glasses?
Well, you have something and I have something.
Yes.
You have a single barrel, which is something that we very much enjoy.
Yeah.
I have something here on ice. We will reveal what these are a little later in the video.
Okay.
So stick around for that.
Okay.
But we should say right up front, talking about common mistakes and how to avoid them and what we've learned over 20 years, the biggest one that just should go without saying is don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Like this is should be a self-limiting hobby.
Yep.
And I always say this is for the good times, not for the bad times. Enjoy whiskey, share it with people, have a good time with it.
But enjoy it responsibly.
Enjoy it responsibly, in moderation. Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Life is short in the grand scheme of things. Like there's always the next. Like you can drink whiskey another day. Live to fight another day. You know, don't feel like you got to get it all in at once.
Yeah.
So
Good
that
point.
should go without saying. Drink responsibly. But I will say the very first thing that we should mention is that a major pitfall in whiskey is believing that there are rules to enjoying whiskey.
Whiskey's like Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
For that matter, whiskey is like restaurants. Like some of it's good, some of it's not good. But that's, if you ask this person, you ask the other person.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, that restaurant that so-and-so doesn't like, I love that spot.
Yeah.
Like, or they'll say, always drink it on ice or never drink it on ice. You know,
I think this is actually a classic example of that because you used to poo-poo ice. But now you have found that you actually in the summertime really like some things on ice.
Yeah, I mean.
So you there are no rules, and your rules that you set for yourself can change because your tastes change, your preferences change. And that's okay. That's part of being human, and we're not machines. Things change over time, and they should.
Yeah, and however you like, the biggest thing is however you like whiskey, that's how you should drink it. Whatever whiskey you like.
That's the right way for you.
Yeah, if you like the whiskey and you like to drink it, however you like to drink it, and whatever that whiskey is a good whiskey for you. Doesn't matter what I say about it, what Erin says about it, what anybody says about it. Enjoy it the way that you like to enjoy it. That's the right way to enjoy it. So that's the biggest point here. Try to just watch out for other people's opinions infiltrating and affecting your experience too much. Which brings us to our next point.
Yes.
The second major pitfall. Believing there are rules is one thing, but then you get this outside influence. These YouTube influencers are the worst, man. Let me tell you, the worst. No. Actually, a lot of the YouTube content out there, we are lucky enough to know a lot of the creators, and everybody that we know is doing it to be helpful, and provide good input and good opinions for you to base your purchases off of.
Yeah.
With that said, you can't let someone else influence you unduly.
Influence in the way of like being a dictatorship. And, I only drink this, or you should only drink this, or you shouldn't drink. There are no shoulds.
Or don't drink it that way.
Don't drink. Yeah.
Always drink it out of a Glencairn.
I think a good point to be made here is use other people's opinions or influence, if you will, as data points to inform your own decisions. Watch our videos. Use our videos as data points to inform your decisions. Use your friends' opinions. Use other YouTubers' opinions just as data points. It's just data collection. And through hearing what other people think, you make your own decision. But you're not going to you shouldn't make your decision based solely off of what we say and what we say alone, or what someone else says and what someone else says alone.
Yeah. I always say it all the time. Number one rule, know thyself.
Know thyself.
So take the time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Take the time to learn, try things, figure out what you like, and then stand firm in that. Believe in yourself and your own palate. Trust your own palate.
Knowing that your palate may change over time.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Which leads us to our next point.
being closed-minded.
Yeah.
You need to be open-minded because your palate will change. Your preferences will morph. You might still like some of the same stuff you liked at the beginning of your journey all the way through, but then you might like different things too.
Yeah.
For me, an example of this is the first few weeded bourbons I had. Hated them. Bleh, gross, yucky. I don't like weeders. That's something I kind of said, but then I was open-minded and tried some more weeders, and I found some I like. Yeah. And the more I've had, the more I found I like. So if I was closed-minded and was like, oh, try this as a weeded whiskey, and I'd be like, no, I'm out. I would have missed out on something. So you have to be open-minded, even though you know yourself, you know your palate, you know your preferences. Oh, yeah, that's for you. Hold on. Even though you know your preferences, still be open-minded. Be willing to try new things within the knowing your own preferences part.
Yeah. It's not a mistake that I'm wearing my rye whiskey shirt because we would joke early in the channel saying Aaron is the rye guy and I'm a bourbon guy. I would oftentimes say that I just flat out did not like any rye whiskey.
Yep.
Guess what? Wrong. That's not true at all. Like, there are so many rye whiskeys that I love.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, just had my buddy Justin Williams over here the other day. He was over here for his birthday. He was over here.
That was a while ago.
It was his birthday
by the way,
weekend.
Time flies.
Time does fly. But it was his birthday weekend. And I'm like, dude, I got to get out the best bottles in the house at your birthday weekend. Everything I grabbed was a rye whiskey.
Which is funny.
Which is
knowing
crazy.
you 5 years ago.
Exactly.
So
there's some of my favorite things now, but it took me being open-minded, not being closed-minded. Like, I knew myself and knew I didn't really like rye whiskey all that much, but I kept trying things, and lo and behold, turns out really high proof, high age, kind of bougie rye whiskey, some of my favorite whiskey in the world. I don't typically like cheap rye whiskey, but I like really nice rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Whereas I can drink cheap bourbon, no problem whatsoever, and enjoy it just fine. So it comes with experience over time and not closing yourself off and being so legalistic about, I like this, I don't like that. You should drink it this way, you shouldn't drink it that way, you know.
I think it's good to know your preferences, but then allow yourself to experiment, one way or the other. I would have never realized how much I like Scotch if I didn't do that. So, and I really like Scotch. So, and single malt whiskeys. So and I know what I like because I was the rye guy. I was rye. Rye was my lane, but I have let myself experiment outside of my lane a little bit. I've taken off some beaten paths and been better for it.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Just experience it and explore it over time.
Yep.
Don't shortchange yourself. Next up, giving in to the FOMO. This is one of the biggest mistakes that you could possibly make.
When we started this channel, one of our catchphrases was fight the FOMO.
Fight the FOMO, yeah. And I still think we do that through our blind tastings and all the content that we do over here. But FOMO, the fear of missing out, can get its grips on you. And you can sit here and you can be like, oh, this channel was talking so great about this bottle of whiskey.
But it's $500 and hard to get.
Right.
And I really want it. What can I do to get it?
Well, here's the thing. If something is $500 and $500 is just too much for you to spend for a bottle of whiskey and there's no way in the world you're going to be happy with anything, then no bottle of whiskey is going to make you happy at $500. Don't spend it.
Well, no
matter
bottle is
what.
worth $500 if that's the case to you, and that's okay.
Right. Whereas other people would be willing to spend that. It's the same as like if a $500 dinner is going to be something that you just can't enjoy because of the money that you're spending on it, don't go to places where it's going to cost you $500 to have dinner. And it doesn't matter how good the reviews are. When it comes to whiskey, it doesn't matter if it's a high age statement. It doesn't matter if all the specs on paper look like exactly like it should be awesome or it's super limited or whatever. None of that stuff matters. It doesn't impact the taste. Only you can determine whether something is worth it for you or not. Nobody else can make that determination for you.
Exactly.
So fight the fear of missing out.
Boom.
And what you told me in the beginning, and it didn't, I wouldn't say it didn't sit well with me, but it did bother me when you said it.
Wait, what did I say?
And I've come to realize that it was the most true statement ever. When
please, do tell.
Bottles would pop up and I'd be like, this bottle's, it's out. I got to get it. I was having fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's this bottle this month. There will be another bottle just like this next month. There's always another bottle
That's true.
coming down the road.
I do remember saying that
you feel,
a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, that you feel this way about. And I was like, no, this time is different. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's always the same. There's always another bottle coming. So if you do miss out on a bottle, big whoop. There'll be another one coming down the pipeline. And for that matter, if you're just, if you miss out on something and you may be like, man, I didn't get a bottle of it, but I'd love to try it. You should maybe be involved in a community like our Discord community where you can ask people about things and maybe somebody can help you out and maybe they live nearby or, reasonably close. And you might be able to taste something that you could otherwise never taste because you didn't get a bottle of it and it's never going to show up in your local restaurants or bars. You can maybe try something if you just get on there and let somebody know you're trying to try something. Check that out over. It's linked in the video description below. You get to our Discord through our Patreon. That's also where you get our barrel picks over on Patreon. And we do a bunch of barrel picks. You can go check those out. Or you can just get some behind the scenes content for as little as $1 a month.
And I think that leads perfectly into our last point.
It does.
About sharing the experience. Or not sharing the experience is
Big
the pitfall.
Mistake,
And we have learned that sharing is caring. And sharing for us has made this hobby so much more enjoyable than it would have been with it, even if it was just sharing between us two, just us drinking at home by ourselves. I think we've learned through sharing with other people, you guys, our Patreon community, that it's become more I don't know, it just feels complete. We share experiences. Not only do we share good pours, not only do we share them, get to try pours that we would never get to try because we have friends who have cool stuff, but we also get to build community, have shared experiences with our friends that we wouldn't otherwise get to have.
Yeah, so I've got an analogy and then a real life example. So my analogy here is that I love food. I love drink. Those are the two things that I love.
Confirm, yes.
So, I love a lot more than that. I love God, I love my wife, I love my daughter, but it's those aren't the only two things I love, but materially speaking, I really love food and drink. They add so much flavor to life, and I really enjoy that. But I would hate to be a restaurant critic. I'd love to try all the new restaurants that come to Nashville, Tennessee, because we have some great ones.
Plenty of them.
But I would hate to be a restaurant critic and only be able to go to these places by myself and critique them. I would much rather eat at McDonald's with a great group of friends than I would at some Michelin star restaurant by myself.
Really?
Maybe once I'll take the Michelin star for sure, but if I've got to go on a weekly basis.
If you have to go consistently by yourself, it loses its luster after a while, probably.
The first few times at the Michelin star place would be awesome. After that, once I've tried the menu, that's whatever. I don't need to keep coming back here. I'd rather be at Mickey D's with my friends.
Make it fun, yeah.
Yeah, so to me, that's why us, and personally speaking, people oftentimes are like, oh, you've been into whiskey for a while, you've had your channel for a while. What are you buying? What are you interested in? Experiences. We're looking for pours that give us good experiences. We're looking for sharing experiences with other people. That's like barrel picks. When we go on barrel picks, we bring people along with us from our Patreon community. That's an amazing experience. I'd much rather, have that experience than spend that money on any individual expensive bottle of whiskey. I'd rather buy a plane ticket and go taste some barrels with friends. That's cool to me.
Or when we're at our barrel pick, specifically what I'm thinking of is there's a group of us together hanging out. We're drinking some great expensive whiskeys, and then one guy brings a bottle that he gotten from his dad that was an older bottle of whiskey that he saves specifically to share with this group. And it was from what?
It was distilled in 1950, bottled in 1958. It was a very, very old Fitzgerald Stitzel Weller. To this day, it's in my top 5 pours of all time.
But also, I think because of that experience of all of us sharing that together, he saved it for us to all drink together. He could have easily done anything else he wanted with it. Yeah. And it's memorable. It's one of my top 5 memories of what we've done with this community. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was cool.
Stuff like that. You can't really replace that if all you're doing is just buying bottles and drinking them by yourself. Which, if you're watching whiskey videos on YouTube, I'm assuming your level of nerdery goes a little deeper than the average bear that's just showing up to your local liquor store and buying the same bottle over and over again.
True.
I'm sure it runs a little deeper than that for you. But maybe you're just curious, maybe you're just dabbling, or maybe the title or the thumbnail caught your eye. It's a great space. I've been involved in communities of all types, of niche hobby communities. It's one of my favorite things to do is find hobbies that have these
He's
niche
a collector of hobbies, this one.
Yes. My daughter said I'm a hobbyholic.
You are.
But, you know, I've been involved in a lot of these types of communities. And I am not joking when I say the whiskey community is bar none the best. And the next community is a distant second place. I think this stuff right here fosters connection. It fosters communication. You have great times when you're sitting around sipping and talking and enjoying the whiskey and enjoying life and enjoying each other's company. You really can't beat it. I think over 20 years, what I've learned here is that it's really just about how you enjoy things, enjoying the journey, and enjoying it with other people. That's the biggest part of all this. With that said, let's talk about what we're drinking real quick.
What are we drinking?
So you have, speaking of barrel picks that we go on, you have one of our barrel picks.
Yeah.
Our Nashville Barrel Company, the Queen's Cut. And this is a sticker, as you can see, it's got Aaron on
I'm
it right
the queen.
there. This is a 10-year MGP that's aged in Kelvin barrels for a portion of time here in Nashville, Tennessee, from Nashville Barrel Company, and this is awesome.
It's really good.
For that, or as a bit of a counterpoint to that, I typically drink things like this. These are some of my favorite things to drink.
This is a little darker, how would you describe this?
Darker, richer, syrupy. That's what we like.
Yeah.
We go for that kind of special it factor in a lot of our barrel picks. We try to find that, capture elements of those special releases in our picks.
Yeah.
This definitely has that. With that said, I typically do enjoy things like this, but it's hot, it's summertime, and much like beer, I tend to prefer like stouts and porters and sours and, different kinds of like darker ales. But it's hot. And sometimes I'm like washing the cars or working outside doing things. I'm getting hot, I'm getting sweaty. And on those occasions, nothing hits like a good crispy, super cold light beer or just a simple lager from the fridge, ice cold. I've been enjoying bourbon the same way lately in the summer heat. I've been really enjoying just easygoing, low-proof bourbon on ice. And this is, to the point earlier of talking about being closed-minded or believing their rules, like, I could easily have said, oh, you should only drink like really complex, bold, rich whiskeys, and you should never drink any of this easygoing stuff. Well, guess what? And I would also say maybe Weller's a little bit overrated. But let me tell you, Weller Special Reserve on ice, this is like the Coors Light of whiskey. And
you mean that in a good way.
And I mean it in a good way, because sometimes it's just refreshing.
Sometimes
and
that's
good.
what you want. Sometimes you just want a good Coors Light or Bud Light.
I'm telling you, I'm not drinking Bud Light.
I don't know beer, so sorry if I misspoke. Okay.
When it comes to the light beers, I'm like, actually, I think we have Yingling Light in the fridge downstairs right now.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I don't know my beers. I was just speaking out of turn.
Bud Light's a very popular beer. I've just never liked the way it tasted. Okay. So that's why I had the reaction I had. I just don't like the way that Bud Light tastes. But again, there's other low-proof whiskeys I don't like the taste of. I happen to like the taste of Buffalo Trace products, and Weller is part of that portfolio. It's wheated bourbon. It's super easygoing, super sweet, and over ice, it literally just tastes like bourbon-flavored water, which on a hot day is exactly what I want. So,
there you go.
There's no rules. It's however you're going to enjoy it is just right.
Yeah.
Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully it helps you avoid some pitfalls, maybe spending a little too much money, getting ahead of yourself and trying to buy bottles that you don't even know if you're going to like or not. Take the time to learn, take the time to just enjoy the hobby and enjoy the journey, and share it with some other people too while you're at it.
Yeah. Thank you for watching today's video. Be good to each other, and until next time.
Cheers.
That was fun.
Yeah. Whiskey's fun.
Yeah.
If people will let it be.
Let it be. Let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Singing words of wisdom. Let it be.